Hello, hello. Hello, you guys. Welcome to Trainwreck Wednesday. I am Cassandra. I am with Porch Boutique. And this is our second episode of Trainwreck Wednesday, where we are going to continue working on our Music Has Wings project. So, I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. It's hump day. Hey, Amelia, my cousin. How are you, sweetie? So I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. It's hump day. I want to try to get through this week because by Wednesdays, y'all, I pretty much had all I can take of the week. I know. I still got 2 more days, but still. So anyway, you guys, if you guys were with me last week, we started work on this old 1939 Philco Radio, giving it, a new facelift. So we're going to continue working on that. So I'm going to move out of the way really quick, though, so you guys can see what I did while, in the time that I left you guys the last time. So here's our little dusty, dirty, y'all. This thing was so doggone dirty. Ooh, it had been sitting on my porch for about 2. Hey, Dwight, there's my coworker. Ex-coworker rather. But you're still my coworker though. You'll always be. Anyway, you guys, so this was sitting out on my porch, y'all. This had been sitting out on my porch for I know at least 2 years. And I don't know if y'all know about the country, but I think that dust and dirt particles have a convention every year. And they get together and they decide where they're going to go for vacation that year. And they obviously came to Mahia. Because this thing, y'all, it was so dirty, y'all. And I really don't like to clean furniture. Honestly, I don't. It took me like an hour and a half to clean this thing. I mean, not an hour and a half, a day and a half to clean this. So anyway, my sister's on. Hi, sis. So what I have done since we left, so if you guys remember, I did this in a combination of colors. I used layered chocolate here on the top. And then I used some prairie gray in here, this lighter color. And then I did a layered chocolate sandy blonde mix over here on this side. And then I did my custom little lavender color, you guys. And all of that was because I used the Musical Dragonflies decoupage paper. And it just has this little hint of lavender in it. And I wanted to pull that out. So what I did here on this, if you guys can see this, the trim here to the radio, I did it in that custom lavender mix. Can you guys see that? Let me pull y'all up a little bit. Just a little. So y'all can see that. So right here, y'all, I did this, I used that same custom mix of lavender that I used here. And that was a mixture of, I took some DIY's White Swan and I mixed it with Blue Iris. And then I added a little bit of, what did I add? A little bit of Marquee Red. Because I asked Google, y'all, I was like, hey, Google, what colors make purple? And it said blue and red. And it did. So I came up with this really pretty lavender. So I did that here too. And you guys see these little hints of gold? Yeah, I couldn't resist putting a little bit of gold on here. So I used some gold gilding wax around these little edges. And so, I don't know, can you guys see this knob right here? So this was the only knob that didn't match the others, right? So I had 3 knobs and basically this odd knob that I just stuck on here because it needed to have a knob. Well, what I decided was, rather than, trying to hide it, hey, Tamara, how are you? Thank you for joining. I thought, rather than trying to hide the odd knob, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to accent it. So what I did was I took a little bit of that dragonfly paper that I had, and I decoupaged it on this knob. And so and I just said, I'm just going to let it stick out. I'm going to let it do its own thing. Child, it's just going to be its own person. So that's what I did right there. So, and this right here, you guys, I have decided that I am going to leave this in the original wood color that it is. It has the word Philco written on here, and I don't want to cover that up. So I'm just going to leave that as is. And I think that'll be great. So on the top here, though, y'all, this is an old radio, 1939, you know, so it has some issues. I mean, if I'd been born in 1939, if I was still here, pretty sure I would have some issues too. So I just kind of embraced the imperfections up here, y'all. And I just added my very favorite stain in the whole wide world. I just stained this up here and just kind of embraced the imperfections of it with some dark and decrepit. So that's what I did. So that is where we are. And then down here, you know, it's an old piece, so, you know, you don't necessarily want it to look new. So, and then down here, I did a kind of a combination of, it should look like the original R2D2. R2D2. So down here, y'all, I did kind of a combination. I did some layered chocolate at the top and at the bottom, and then in the middle, I did some prairie gray. So that's what's going on right down here. And so basically, this part is finished. So I just need to do a seal up with my big top, seal it all up, and this part will be good to go. But what we're gonna work on tonight, y'all, so if you guys remember, you can see through this because I took out the speaker thing. I mean, it was no good. So you can see through this now. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a board to go back behind here with some of the leftover dragonfly paper so that, you know, you're not going to be able to see everything, but, you know, it's going to be like, y'all know how I love a mystery, right? It's going to be like just a little bit of mystery back here, you know? So I plan on using the leftover, some of the leftover dragonfly paper and the Kindest Regards stamp, y'all. Y'all know how I love that stamp. I really don't know, you know, it's just a good background stamp and foreground stamp too as well. So I told you guys last time, what I did was I measured back here and I actually had a piece of cardboard, y'all, that actually fit that space back there. So what I did was, well, almost fit. So I took this piece of cardboard, and y'all can see where I taped it together right here. And now on this side, I painted it white. So, can you guys see that? Yeah. So I painted it white on this side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these leftover pieces of dragonfly paper, and I'm going to decoupage them on here. And I'm going to put it back. Then I thought about putting the stamp underneath the decoupage, but no, it came to me. I'm going to put the stamp, once this dries, I'm going to take the Kindest Regards stamp and I'm going to put it on top. I'm just going to stamp it on top of the decoupage paper. You know, a little bit of mystery. Y'all know how we love a mystery. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to do that first and we're going to let that dry. And then the plan is, because y'all already know there's always a plan. Then I am going to use my little Porch pair-ups. Y'all know I have something for every paper. So for the musical dragonflies, I'm going to use these little cutouts. Here's a music note. Here's a music note. This little, dragonfly. And here is a double music note. And so I plan on doing something to these, and then I'm going to put those kind of 3 of them right here. So for the one that's painted white, y'all, I am going to take a little bit of the leftover decoupage paper and I'm going to decoupage on it for this one. And then for these 2, I'm going to do a mixture of this lavender, but I'm going to add some salt wash for texture because y'all love me some texture. I'm going to add some salt wash for texture with these 2 here. But the one that's painted white, I'm going to do a little bit of decoupage. But I want to get our board done first so that can be drying. Okay, so that is what we're going to do first. So let me situate my TV tray. As y'all know I'm sophisticated, I got a TV tray. Okay. And I'm going to be using Big Top. And the reason why I chose Big Top, again, I'm more of a, well, you know what, I'm going to throw this out there to you guys. This is a Porch quiz, not a pop quiz, but a Porch quiz. Which DIY top coat has the matte finish and which DIY top coat has the shinier finish? You guys tell me which one of those. I'm going to be using the big top tonight, but there's also the liquid patina. So of those two, hey Marilyn, of those two, the liquid patina and the big top, which one is the shinier one and which one is more of the matte finish? That's the Porch quiz for tonight. All right, let me get my table ready. I'm not finna eat off of it. I wish I was, because I'm kind of hungry. All right. Here's my Kindest Regards stamp. Y'all know one of my favorites. Here is my leftover decoupage paper, and I'm going to use a little bit of that on one of my Porch pair-ups. I got my ink and my black ink and my ink pad for my Kindest Regards stamp. Couple of cups. And y'all, my French tip brush, y'all, I told you guys about the French tip and the little Frenchie. Really came in handy for doing these little corner areas right here. All right, so we're gonna work on our board first tonight, y'all. So here is our board. And we're just gonna decoupage this paper on here. So I'm gonna turn you guys down a little so you can see. Because this board is going to go back here behind these slats. Okay, so, and where did I leave my big top? Way over there. All right. And I got the fan on, y'all. Is it muggy where y'all are? Because I am so hot today. Hi, Linda. Matte is the liquid patina. Big top is shiny. That's right, Linda. Big top is shiny. Nancy says big top is shiny. That is correct, you guys. Who else said? Donna says big top has a shiny finish. Yep. That's it, you guys. All right. Okay. So, and I'm more of a, which one do you guys, I mean, are you guys more of a matte finish kind of people, or are you guys more of a shiny finish kind of people? I tend to like the matte finishes better. That's just me, but I did go with big top on this, y'all, because this thing was so doggone dry. I mean, it was like dry. Okay. Get me a little big top going. It's squirting everywhere. Grab me a brush, and we're just gonna put this down. And y'all know what? I forgot my cling wrap. I knew I was gonna forget something. Hold on, y'all. Let me grab a piece of cling wrap, because I can't decoupage anymore without cling wrap. So now, you guys, when I'm doing the wet method for decoupage, I love this cling wrap thing, you know, because it just helps you lay your decoupage down better than using your fingers. So I'm just gonna fold up a little bit of cling wrap, have it on hand. All right. So we're gonna get our decoupage on this board and let it be drying, y'all. So that's our first step tonight. And I'm just gonna put it on like I would if I wasn't putting it on cardboard. I'm just gonna put it down because I've already painted it, right? And I don't need too much, of course. Lay it down there. Get my cling wrap. And remember that I'm working on a TV tray. And don't rub too hard because it's going to go south. And I'm not really I'm not going for full coverage on this, you guys, because remember, I'm going to do the Kindest Regards stamp over this. And this is all just for my little bit of mystery behind these slats on here. So I'm just going to pull it back. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to hold my tray. Well, it's actually the cardboard that's slipping. Put some more on here. Just like, you know, any other decoupage project, only this is cardboard. So, I mean, you kind of want to keep in mind that you don't want to, you know, like saturate it, but we're going to work it just like any other decoupage project. We're just using some cardboard. And again, these are just pieces, y'all, that I saved from that leftover paper, because all I did on that paper was I took off some of the dragonflies for the side. Up under here. That down. And I think my fan, y'all, I have a fan on because y'all, it's warm, and I didn't turn on the AC, so my fan is tending to dry out my medium here. So put a little bit more on here, go up under here a little, push that down, get some on there. Get my cling wrap. And just lay it down as we would normally, right? We're just gonna forget about the fact that we're working on a piece of cardboard, y'all, because we're just getting our decoupage on here. Cardboard or no cardboard. Get this down here. Lay it down. I'm just gonna rub it in. And I know I'm gonna make a mess here, y'all. I am gonna make a mess, I'm bound to. Okay, so that's one piece that's down, right? So I have a couple other pieces that I saved from that dragonfly paper. So let me hold it up so you guys can see. So there we go. That's one piece down. And then I have these couple of other pieces here that I'm just gonna kind of, you know, find a place for them, right? So I have this piece and I have this bigger piece. And I think I'm going to, I'm going to overlap a couple of them. And some of the white is going to show, and that's okay, because remember, I'm going to use the Kindest Regards stamp. So, but I kind of want to turn it this way a little bit. So I'm going to put this one on next. Kind of bring it back this way some. Fighting my fan here tonight. I'm going to do it just like this, I think. Okay. My big top is on the floor. I'm just going to start it here. Get it on there, maybe a tad bit more. Because the fan is drying it up, y'all. As fast as I can put it on, the fan is drying it up. Alright, get my cling wrap. Lay it down with just a little bit of overlap. And that's okay. And I'm really on this right here. Hi, Anna, how are you? On here, y'all, I'm really not particularly paying a lot of attention to any bubbles or anything like that. Again, this is going to be just kind of like my background paper behind the slats that are on here. And I want to go ahead and get this done so it can be drying while we move on to our little porch pair-ups and get a couple of those ready. All right. Again, y'all, we just working like this ain't cardboard. I mean, we know it's cardboard, but we ain't, you know. What paper is this, Barbara? These are pieces left over from the musical Dragonflies paper. Hi, Vaughn, how are you? So just laying it down as I would if it weren't, you know, cardboard. So keep on going. Let's get this tail end on. And again, a little bit of it may hang off, but that's okay. Because I can just really just, you know, fold it behind it. All right. Keep moving. I'm going to lay it right over that part that I, taped together. Just going to lay it right over that. And then I'm just going to get a couple of the edges here. Right there. And then right down here. You know, if it's on the edge, you can always go back and pick those up. And then right up here. All right. And I swear, I think I'm running over my other piece of paper, y'all. Okay. All right, that's number 2. This is the way it's looking so far, y'all. No rhyme, no reason, but we're just decoupaging it on this cardboard because we have a, oh, thank you, Anna, for dropping that link. Yes, the musical Dragonflies paper. Because we have a plan, y'all. We have a plan for a little bit of mystery. All right, so let's put our last piece on, except that I think I just rolled over it. So let me pick that up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this one on. And so I'm going to put this one just kind of right here, kind of at the top. So we're going to overlap it with these two right up here. And again, it's okay that the white spaces are there because, again, our plan is to go ahead and stamp this with our Kindest Regards stamp over the top. And so some of those white spaces that you see now will have that stamp on them. You guys see that? Hi, Marilyn, Donna, if I didn't say hello to you guys. Bring that up some. I'm going to lay it down right there. Get our cling wrap and lay it down. And again, this is, you know, this really isn't like, you know, decoupaging a piece of furniture for me. So I'm not really going to worry about bubbles or anything like that. because it's going to be a background. It's just going to be background. But it will give the eye something to draw into when you look through these little slats here. All right. And I'm just layering it on top of what's already there. All right, I'm gonna catch these edges right here and right under here and right over here. Catch those edges there. Lay those down. Again, I'm fighting against this fan because, all right. Okay, y'all, so that is the beginning. Let me put a little bit more right here. This is the beginning of our background. Catch that edge right there. All right, so this is what our background board looks like as of right now. So there we go. So there's really no rhyme or reason to it. But again, it's gonna go. Let me see if I can put it back here real quick to see if you guys can get kind of an idea of where it's gonna go here. And maybe even be able to see it. So I'm just gonna staple it. So this radio has no back on it, y'all. So, but it's gonna go back here. Let me see, hold on. It's gonna go back here just like that. And you guys probably can't see it on camera, but it's just gonna give just enough of interest so that when you're looking into these slats, you're going to be able to see something back there. And, you know, it's going to draw your eye in. So that's what this is for. So that's what it looks like right now. As of right now. Okay? So, hi, Eva. How are you? Let's see. Somebody says, Tamara says, it's humid in Texas tonight. Does not affect the decoupage. Does that affect the decoupage? It is humid tonight, Tamara. You're right. It doesn't really affect the decoupage except that it's drying out my decoupage medium pretty quick because I have the fan on. But other than that, no, it doesn't. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to put this to the side now and let it dry. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do so. You guys know I did this custom mix, right, of a lavender. And that's what I did here on these. Oh, let me raise you up a little. That's this purpley color that I did here and here. So what I'm going to do with some of this leftover lavender, because I only have a little bit, I'm going to add some salt wash to it. And I'm going to do a little salt wash technique on a couple of these music notes. Let me get that out of my way because I'll be and spilled it. Okay, so I have these pair ups. Again, I pretty much have one of these, y'all, for every paper. So this one I've already painted it white because I'm going to take a little bit of the decoupage paper and I'm going to decoupage it. But for these two, this double note, and for this little dragonfly, I'm going to do a little bit of salt wash texture on it in this lavender color. Because y'all know how I love me some texture. And I love me some salt wash. So, because I only have a little bit, a little bit of this paint left, I'm just going to add some salt wash to it. And I think Vaughn, is Vaughn still on? I think Vaughn was asking me about salt wash. Does it change the color of the paint? Whoops, sorry you guys. No, it does not change the color of the paint. It is a texture additive. So you add the paint. So whatever color you want your texture to be, you add that. You add your salt wash to whatever color that is. So I'm just going to take the cup, and this is a big one, you guys. So definitely don't need that much. Then I'm going to stir. I'm just going to stir it right here in this jar, and I'm going to try not to add too much because I don't have any more of this color. So, but salt wash is a texture additive, and y'all, it is great for texture. But see how it's dripping? I want to add a little bit more, and I'm going to do this real gingerly because, again, I don't want to add too much because I don't have any more paint to add to it. But this makes great texture. And as a matter of fact, next week, you guys, we're going to be doing a lot of texture with salt wash. So you guys will get to see a bigger, so it's getting a little bit thicker. Can you guys see that? So you want it to get just to the, really you should add salt wash at a 1-to-1 ratio. But because I don't know how much paint I have in here, y'all, I'm just winging it. But you want it to get to where it doesn't fall off of your stirring apparatus. So see there? It's getting better, but it's still a little too thick. I mean, a little too thin. So add just a little more. And you can do it 1-to-1. I don't ever measure anything, y'all. I'm bad about that. So I'm just winging it. But I can feel it getting thick. Not thick enough. But I really like, one thing that's good about salt wash, y'all, if you have a piece that has a lot of flaws, like most of the stuff that I get, then salt wash really is good for covering those flaws. Okay, so there we go. Now you guys can see that's on the stick. It's not really falling off, so now that's good. All right. So now I'm just gonna take my and when you put on salt wash, y'all, don't use your good brushes because you're gonna be pouncing it on, and you don't want to mess up your good brushes. So I'm just gonna take this little cheapy brush that I got from, who knows, dollar store or something, and I'm gonna start with my little dragonfly here. Can you guys see? I'm gonna put it down. Bring you guys down so you can see it. And I'm just gonna put my texture on by pouncing it. Then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like and see if you can tell the difference. And this is just on cardboard, so. Okay, so now let me hold it up and see if you guys can see that texture. So can you guys see that texture? That's what salt wash does. It gives you this very not too thick texture that I really, really like. And I like to use it, you know, on furniture. I'm just gonna put a little bit. So because these are cardboard, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. So you see these ridges here that look like cardboard still? I always like to go in when I'm working with these and actually dab my paint or my texture or whatever it is into these ridges so that when you're looking at them straight on, you don't get that cardboard look. You don't see, you know, too much of the cardboard in there. So now, see, I've added that in there. So now you can see cardboard on the back, but if you look inside there, it also has that purple color. So now with these little dragonflies, these are really well cut, y'all. But because they're cut, sometimes the little tail here is, you know, separated from one another. So I just took a little bit of glue and I actually glued it together so it'll stay on my piece better. Tamara says, I really like the color and the texture. Thank you, Tamara. Yeah, this is actually a custom color. So you guys just know that if DIY doesn't have a color that you're looking for, you can combine colors, y'all, and make your own custom color for whatever it is, whatever project that you're working on. Okay, that's my dragonfly. For the most part, I'll try to get into some of these little ridges on the wing here. Okay, that's my dragonfly. You guys see that now? And so this will go right here. Somewhere down here. These three that I'm doing here. So now here's this music double note. Y'all have no idea what this is. I don't know what to call it. Do you call it a double note? That's what I'm gonna call it because I don't know. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. Add me some texture. In the lavender. And again, y'all, I chose this little lavender color because the dragonfly paper actually has just a very subtle hint of this color. So there you go. So there's that. Can you guys see that texture in that? The other one is an 8th note. Oh, Linda, thank you. So this one is this one the 8th note, Linda? Or this one? The double one is the 8th note, or this single one is the 8th note? Because, child, I don't know. Oh, yeah, thank you, Mary. Yeah, this is a custom color that I actually mixed up. So can you guys see that texture? It is just yummy. I love using salt wash for texture. Okay, so those two. Now I want to show you guys that you can also, where's my top? So for this one, what did Linda say? Did she answer? So for this one though, I'm going to use, I'm just going to put on just a little scrap of decoupage paper, y'all. And so I've done this one in white, just like I would, you know. The 2 is the double. The 1 is the single. Okay, thank you, Linda. I'm sure glad somebody knows something about music, because I didn't know what these, I was just calling them notes. So I painted this one a little bit of white swan on this one, and I put some white in these edges. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of my leftover decoupage paper. I'm just going to cut a little piece off of it. Don't need much. Let's see, about this much. I'm just going to cut it. Because the paper really does still have some really pretty elements on it, like the flowers on here. And the music notes. And each paper has 2 dragonflies each, so I use those. Okay, so I'm just going to use this right here, this little piece that I cut off here. And I don't really even need that much, so I'm going to kind of trim it a little bit. Can you guys see that? I'm just going to trim some of this off, just so I don't have a lot of paper to work with. Okay. All right. So I just kind of cut that, kind of trimmed it around so that I wouldn't have so much excess paper. All right, so just like we did with the, well, it just flew off, but just like we did with the other decoupage, let me find my, I'm going to put just a little bit, because y'all, we don't need a whole lot, right? Because I'm just going to take just a little bit of my big top, and I'm going to put it on here. And again, y'all, just keeping in mind that this is cardboard, so I can paint it and I can add this big top, but I don't want to oversaturate it, because after all, it is paper. Okay. So a little big top. I'm going to add a little more because the fan is on. And then I'm just going to lay my paper on it. Can you guys see that? Lay my paper down. So now my paper is on there. And then where this note goes up in here, I'm going to cut it. Cut that out. Just like that. And then do just a little bit more trimming, because now that I've got it on here, I can see that I really don't need all the extra paper, right? It's just going to be in the way. I'm going to cut it down as close as I can to the, because those little parts, the little edges, I'm just going to tuck them in. And these little pair-ups, they just give kind of a little bit of a 3D, you know, a three-dimensional aspect to your pieces. That's kind of why I like to use them. And I pretty much have one for every paper that I have. And you can find these on my website too, you guys, at under Porch Pair-Ups. Okay, so see, I pretty much cut it to fit for the most part. And now I'm just going to take my I'm going to take one of my smaller brushes, this little one here, and I'm going to add a little bit more big top, and I'm just going to go over it with the big top, with these edges. And start to lay down the little edges here. I'm just kind of pushing them in. You know, when you get it wet, of course it's paper, so it's going to lay down. Just like that. Around the edges. I don't need much, right? Because this is just a little piece here. But if I get the paper wet on the ends, then I can just lay it down over the edge. All right, there we go. And what doesn't lay down, y'all, I can just peel it off. So there we go. So now we have our little decoupage note. And I'll just let it dry. Going back and either tearing off or pushing in these edges, either way. You can trim it more if you wanted to. But there we go, there's our little decoupage note. So that will go here as well, down there. All right, so we'll have this one decoupaged, we'll have this one in the textured lavender, and then we'll have our little dragonfly in the textured lavender. But also what I do once these are textured up, again, this is paint, I just go back over them just a little with a little bit of Big Top on both of these textured ones. Okay, so let me put these to the side. Now let's go ahead and stamp our board, y'all. And that'll be the last thing we'll do for this little, our Music Has Wings project. That's gonna be the last thing. So let me go ahead and get the board because it should be nice and dry. Move this salt wash. Y'all, I'm always afraid I'm going to spill this salt wash all over the floor. And I'm going to be up all night trying to sweep up salt wash. Okay. All right. Moving on. Our board is pretty dry, I think. It's dry enough, I believe. So here's our board. I'm just going to lay it down here. And then here is our Kindest Regards stamp. Let me pick it up here. We're going to be using this. And I've got my black ink and my ink pad. And we're just going to stamp right over it. So, let's see. Find the top here. That's the bottom, this is the top, so we're just gonna stamp right onto it. All right, so let's get some ink on here, and this time, you can use ink or you can use paint, whichever you choose. I've got some ink on here. So I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna see if I have enough ink on here, y'all. Looks like it. Now, one thing when you're inking, make sure that you don't get the ink in places that, and I'm not looking for full coverage either, y'all, so, but just make sure that you don't get the ink in places on the stamp that you don't want to come off on your project, because it will. All right, that's ink number 1. Inking down number 1, and I did get it on a place that I did not want it to be. So let me grab my my baby wipes right here, and I'm gonna wipe that off, because if you don't wipe that off, it will come off on your project. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off where I got it right here that I didn't want it. There we go. All right. So let's get this down then. And I'm just gonna stamp right over my my dragonfly paper. Here we go, y'all. And again, I'm not looking for real full coverage of the letter, just, you know, again, I just wanted to have a little bit of mystery, y'all. So I'm just kind of holding it with my thumb and rubbing it back and forth. All right. And there we go. That's a good, that came out pretty good. So I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see that. Can you see the letter on there? So that came out pretty good. So there's the letter, part of it on here. And so I'm gonna just keep stamping, and I'm gonna overlap it. You know, if I overlap it, that's okay. I may even turn it a different direction, because again, this isn't something that, you know, it's gonna kind of be in the background. So it really isn't something that's gonna be in the forefront. So I'm gonna stamp again. hoping that I still have enough ink. Yep, I do. Checking it. I want to get some imprint, although it doesn't have to be perfect imprint. Okay, now this time I think I want to take it and I want to stamp this way. Right there. Hold it down and just press. I don't really have to worry too much about it moving because it's on this board. But still, I want to hold it with one hand. And just kind of rub it. Alright, I'll pick that one up. Oh yeah, that came out really nice, you guys. So see what I meant by these white parts here? So can you guys see that? So yeah, so this is turning out really nice. So this is just going to be a background, y'all. Just a little bit of mystery. You can be looking through those slats and you can be like, what is that? So yeah, so I'm going to do one more stamp of the letter and then we're going to be done with that. I think I'm going to do it, well, maybe two more. I want to do one here and I'm going to start with doing one here. And one thing about ink, you guys, if you're using ink to stamp with, it does take a little bit longer to dry than paint. So give it time. It will dry. And these inks come in a lot of different colors. So, you know, depending on what color you want. They've got a green. This is IOD, by the way. They've got red, blue, they've got white. So it just depends on what one you want. Alright. So our third inking. And I think I'm just going to put this on the bottom left here, bottom of my left. Maybe you're right. But right down here is kind of where I want it. So I think I'm just gonna lay this bottom part here, and I'm not gonna lay down this top part. So you guys can see I'm holding up this top part. So I'm just gonna lay down this bottom part. Kind of let it meet up with the one that's already down here. There we go. And then I'm going to take this top part here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lay it over here. Kind of overlapping it a little bit. Rubbing it in. All right, that is it, y'all. Look at that. So this is what we have. So can you guys see that? So this is what it's gonna look like. So, and again, it's not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be something that you're gonna be able to really, really see, but you're gonna know that something is back behind here. When I'm gonna staple this board to the back here, so you will be able to see a little bit of something. So now once this all dries up, I will seal it again with some Big Top, and I'm gonna staple it inside here, into the back side here. Okay, so that is the plan. So, you guys, I think we are done with our Music Has Wings project. Oh, it's 8:25, y'all. Where does time go? Like, you know, I'm just really getting into it, and all of a sudden it's time to be done. So yeah, so this is it. This is gonna go in the back. I'm gonna seal this whole thing. And this whole thing here, I'm taking my baby wipe, y'all, and I'm gonna wipe my ink off of my stamp. I'm going to seal the whole thing up with Big Top. And then it will get a back on it, a back side, because right now it does not have a back. So I will put a back on it. And then after that, y'all, it's going to be ready to go. It is going to be ready to go. And so that is pretty much it for our Music Has Wings project, y'all. So y'all know y'all can find any of this stuff that I've used tonight on my webpage. I've linked it to the top, pecanporchboutique.com. And you guys, one thing, if y'all have not tried salt wash texture, y'all got to try it. Y'all going to be hooked. Just like me. Y'all are going to be hooked. Y'all going to be like, I want texture on everything. Like the other day, I was in the kitchen, and I was looking at the microwave, and I was like, you know, that microwave sure could use some texture. Now, you know that microwave don't need no texture, but that's what salt wash does to you. You start thinking everything. You start thinking in texture, everything in texture. So, yeah, so you really need to try salt wash if you haven't. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it, y'all, for this little project. Next week, and I wanted to tell you guys that I think it was Sonia that suggested that, was it Sonia? Yeah, Sonia suggested that on the one we did before, which was the table with the octopus and stuff, she suggested that it was called Underwater Whimsy. That was the name of the project. And so Sonia suggested, well, let's just call it Underwater Whimsy. So we're going to call that one Underwater Whimsy. But we do need a name for this one. So you guys be thinking about a name. And let's see, what else? So next week, y'all, we're going to come back with a whole new project. And let me see. Do I want to give y'all a little hint? I'm just going to say the farm. That's a hint for our project for next week. So it's going to be an interesting one for me. And I'll tell you guys why once I put the picture up and tell you the plans. You'll know why. But I think that is it for tonight, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me as always. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for following me. If you guys have not joined my my Facebook group, it's called Porch Paint and Polypop. I would love for you guys to join and share your projects. Show me, show us things that you're doing. I mean, I learn from other people. I get inspiration from other people. And it's just a place for like-minded people to come together. So I posted a link in the description. Good night, Tamara. Thank you for joining. I posted the link in the description. So if you guys have not joined my my Facebook group, I would love for you guys to join. And just share, let us see what you're doing. Because, I'm nosy, y'all. I'm from the country. I'll be like, I wonder what she making tonight. So, yeah. So, think about joining my group if you guys haven't. Other than that, you guys, I guess I will see you guys next week, hopefully. And don't forget, you guys, to join me also on the DIY Paint page. I'm on there every other Sunday. I won't be on there this Sunday, but the next Sunday. Every other Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Central Time. So join me there as well. But y'all know how we do on the porch. Y'all know what we say on the porch. Don't forget to bud, bloom, and be unique. Bye, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I will post a picture of the finished. Once I get this all put together, I will post a picture so you guys can see, but be thinking about a name, okay? Bye, you guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.